Hey guys, Brendan here from Airsoft K19 bringing you guys a full review on the Z-Gun 1911 Hicapa. And by a full review, I do think this video is going to be quite lengthy because I'm going to just unbox it. I'm going to talk about some of the key features of the 1911 Hicapa that you probably already know. I'm going to field strip it, put it back together, talk about maintenance, load it, and then we're going to go shooting. It's going to be a long video, so I recommend you check the description for links to certain parts of the video in case you came here for certain parts. But if you came here for to watch a good Airsoft video or to see a full review on the Z-Gun 1911 Hicapa, then I recommend you stay for the whole video. When you open your Z-Gun 1911, you're introduced to the very plain, basic Chinese manual with illustrations telling you what to do and what not to do. English is okay compared to most Chinese manuals, and to be honest, the how-tos on field stripping and everything like that isn't so good, but it is here. On the back you do have a parts list, so if you do miss any kind of part, it would be much easier to find out what it was that you missed and easier to replace. So not completely worth throwing away, so kind of worth keeping. Once the first layer of foam is removed, which I do like this this packaging a lot, once that is removed, you are now introduced to the gun, which is you are given a very plain gun and mag. Once that's out of the way, you see everything that they gave you. So very plain package, not really a competition kit like they say. It's literally just gun, mag. As you can see, the orange tip is off of mine. It was simply just an orange plug that I got some pliers and just pried it right off. In case you're unfamiliar with the basics of this gun, this is a green gas or propane operating gun, and I'm sure that they have CO2 mags that can work with this gun like most Hicapas, like KJW, Tokyo Marui, WeTech. Something tells me that all the mags are can work with each other. But the one that they give you is a 30 to 32 round double stack green gas and propane magazine. A lot of rounds for a pistol, trust me. So basic functions of the 1911 Hicapa, in case you guys don't know this. Well, like I said, it is a gas blowback, so when you shoot, the slide will go back. Speaking of the slide, it feels very good, very sturdy metal. It's a very boxy look. It's rounded out. It's almost like if Lamborghini made a 1911. This is what it would be, because some of these, I'll get close-up shots of this, because the cuts on this gun are very sharp, very good looking, yet still sticks with a classic 1911 look, unlike some of the WeTechs are getting a little too futuristic. And then your slide release is right here, so by pressing that, the gun shoots forward, and now that your hammer is back, you can shoot. Speaking of the hammer, as well as the trigger, it's skeletonized, which just gives it an amazing look. Mag release is right here, so when the mag is in, it's in solid, and then obviously mag comes out. Safety is right here, the primary safety. There are two safeties, which I'll get to. Is right here, which, just like the real thing, will not activate until the gun is ready to fire, and then the safety goes up. Once the safety is up, no shot, put it back down, it shoots. Or, ready to shoot here, but the beaver tail safety, known on most 1911s, like the real thing, you have to press it, then shoot. So now that the gun is cocked, safety is down, it still won't shoot until the beaver tail is pressed, and then it shoots. The front sight looks like it would be adjustable, but it's actually not. It's not on any rails, it's all one piece. But it does have a very white dot, so it's very easy to distinguish and point the gun very easily right off the bat. The rear sight is actually adjustable left to right. Windage and elevation is what I'm getting at here. There's a screw here for a flathead screwdriver. You could put it up or down. It's labeled right here. Or a screw right here to go left and right for windage and elevation. I believe I said everything as far as the function of the gun, but as far as just the cosmetics, the actual look of the gun is just unbelievable. I think all of the kind of brushed aluminum, almost chrome pieces, like at the barrel here, and connected to the one-piece barrel here, the hammer and the trigger. Altogether, I think the accents on this gun is very nice. How it feels, once you're holding it, it just feels so good. It feels like you just grab it real tight. It's a very comfortable gun once you're shooting it, but once you start feeling the materials, like I said, top frame, metal, feels great. The bottom frame is also metal and feels great, but the materials that they went with on the hand or on the grip, which are usually plastic on even the real thing, but on here I just feel that it's a little, it just feels a little bit cheaper and just kind of feels weird until you really grab it, and then that kind of all goes away. Doesn't affect the look, performance, or feel of the gun once you're shooting it. It's just not as nice as some of the other 1911 Hicapas I've held, but complete nitpicky minor thing. It still feels really good whether you're shooting it one-handed or two-handed, but feels very good, looks really good. So all around cosmetics, I give it a huge thumbs up. Okay, now I'm going to do a quick field strip and talk about maintenance on it, because I have shot about 5 mags through with this thing and only put silicone oil in some certain spots. I think it's time for a good cleaning, and I haven't completely field stripped this thing yet because I don't really know how, and I haven't really found YouTube videos on it. But I'm just going to do the very basics, enough to where you could do some good maintenance. So first things first, like you probably already know, you just drop the mag, rack it back, make sure it's clear. Then what you're gonna do is you can see right here that there's 2 notches. There's the big notch that catches when the gun is out of ammo, and then there's a notch even before that. So what you want to do, and it won't lock there, but you want to line it up there, and then there's a button right over here. Once it's lined up to that notch, you press that button, hold the slide back, and then that pin will just come all the way off, and at that point you could rack it forward. And then your bottom and or your lower and upper receivers are now separated. We're going to get into the lower receiver in just a second, or the lower frame I mean, for maintenance. But as far as field strip, we are basically good to go. It's a very basic piece we're holding here. So this is only going to be brought back for maintenance. We can field strip this slightly more. Okay, from this point I have actually not field stripped the upper receiver or the upper frame any more than I already have. So it's going to be new for me, but from the videos I've seen, it looks kind of difficult. What it seems like is you compress this spring while pulling back on this piece right here, and then lift up here, and then the barrel will go forward. But let's just go ahead and try it out. So I think compress these two at the same time. And you gotta be careful because this is a sharp piece right here. There you go, pops out like that, I believe. Almost got it there. There we go. So you just kind of compress it, and then it seems to pull out, and then be easy with it here. So this is the piece I just don't remember the name for. You just spring, and then your spring guide. And then it looks like the actual barrel itself should, and the hop-up unit should just come out the front barrel, or the front part. There we go. So now you have your outer barrel and inner barrel connected to your hop-up, and then the upper receiver frame, whatever you would like to call it. And then you're left with the lower here and your pin. That's all I'm going to do. I tried to separate the inner barrel and the outer barrel, but this gun's so new to me, I still haven't been able to do that. You would feel like it would slide out just like the Glock, but that's not the case. Anyway, while this gun is pulled apart like this, I can give you the take the opportunity to tell you that there's the hop up right here, which when the barrel's facing this way and the hop up's upwards, by turning it, I believe, this way, more hop, and then this way for less hop. I like to go max hop and shoot with .28 gram BBs. Seems to give a pretty good balance for me. So that's basically the basic field strip of this thing. Now we're going to go ahead and try to put it together. I just thought before I actually put it together, it would probably be a good opportunity to do some maintenance, basic maintenance on the gun right now while it is all together. I got some Q-tips, some silicone oil, and a lot of just tissue paper. So we're gonna go ahead and clean off all the greasy parts, put some oil there, and should be good to go. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some of my tissue paper and just clean off the outer barrel, because I was noticing that there's some grease on there. As you can see, it starts coming off on here. There we go. As you can see, it starts kind of turning black. I'm going to get a little bit of the hop-up unit as well. And so you can see a lot of the dirty oil and grease is now on there. So this is fairly clean. We're going to apply some oil. Actually, no, this doesn't need any oil. or silicone oil, I mean. So this is basically good to go. We're going to put that on the side. I'm going to clean off this pin just because it might be a little dirty. So now that's good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and clean again, I forgot the name of this thing. I knew it not too long ago. Clean this off just for any kind of light dust that might have collected on it. Pretty clean, not too much dirt on here. That's good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and clean the spring, which I don't imagine is too dirty because of how new the gun is. But we're going to go ahead and try to clean it out. A little bit of dirt on there, but for the most part that's good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and do this piece right here, the rod, which I'm forgetting all the names. But anyway, once we do that, we see that that was pretty dirty. So now that's good to go. For the actual receivers, it's a lot easier to clean with Q-tips. So what I like to do is just take the Q-tip, lock this back here, and just run it through here. And as you can see, very, very dirty very quickly. And I've already maintained this about 2 times this way. So this is like the 3rd time. And still, just because it's very new, kind of still breaking in, it just collects a lot of the whatever the black is. Maybe it's metal shavings that's kind of falling off because it's a new gun, or whatever it is. So it's just good to clean it off. So once that is pretty clean, pretty dry, you are good with that. We're going to apply some more oil in just a second. Now I'm just going to go with this right here and just make sure I get everything for the most part. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on the upper frame. Any contact points here, not too much oil here, but right here around the nozzle we start getting a lot, as you can see. And then where the hammer meets as well. For the most part, you don't have to do too much. It's enough to where it turns black like that. And then you're pretty much good to go. Alright, so now that everything's cleaned off pretty well, what we can do is get some silicone oil and put a little bit just on one of these, the rails on the lower. So just a little bit here, a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and take a Q-tip and just try not to absorb it, just kind of move it across the that railing. Do the same to the other side. Move it across there, spread it out. We don't want too much in one spot. We're going to go ahead, go to the back, around the hammer. Any contact points where it's going to be sliding around. Put quite a bit there, so let me try to spread that around, try to get it into all the grooves and everything. Anywhere that's going to be under stress or just under a lot of contact. There we go. And it looks like the lower is good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and move to the upper. Anywhere where there's going to be slide moving, so here, here, and then there's this little square where the nozzle is. Go ahead and put some down there, whether you're shooting with green gas or propane. It's just good to have that into the system, because as soon as the gun gets fired, all of that oil is now moved throughout the gun and not so like droopy into one spot. So it's good to just move around. Alright, so now that your gun is now very well cleaned and lubed up, so you should be good to go to put it back together. So if I remember correctly, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and put the spring back on the spring guide and back on this housing right here, which the bigger hole will take the spring in. So we just assembled that, but first we're going to go ahead and put the barrel back into the frame. So as you can see, just the way it seems like it would fit, it would. So just like that, hop up facing upwards. I don't think it would be able to go in there if you put it in wrong, so you should be safe. Now we're going to go ahead and compress this. Try to get the rod in there first. Alright, so once the little housing piece is nicely in there and very, very flush, and the spring is now all the way flexed out, you are good to go. So go ahead and just like the normal field strip, you're going to go ahead and line up the railing with the receiver, rack it back. Then you're going to go ahead and put this part of the pin right here, rest of it here, line up the notch again, and then push it all the way forward. Should be good to go. Rack it a couple times. And that way some oil will kind of come out of the sides, easy to clean up. And now your gun is in nice and ready to fire condition. Another thing that you can do that's not completely necessary, but it's just helpful for any gas gun, but what you can do is get into the mag here, and you have this bottom plate here which is easy to remove. You can just, let me see if I could fit a Q-tip in there, but you just, oh actually this is an empty can of green gas, so I'm just going to use it for the nozzle. You could use any kind of very small piece, but there's this is where you fill it, and then this right here is a little button that you could basically press and then push this forward, and then you'd have to press it again right here. And then once you do that, you see that the bottom frame came off, and now your fill valve is basically right there. So now at this point you can put some oil down there, and once oil is down there, you can kind of clean up any bit around there, and then go ahead and try to. This is empty for the most part, but try to get some in there, some of the oil into the mag. Because the mag is going to be what has the air, so or the gas to operate the gun. So if you have a lot of oil in the mag, a lot of oil is going to be throughout the gun, and that's exactly what we want. So now that we have oil on the valve here, we can go ahead and put this back, press that button again, and lock it right in. Then what we could also do is right before we're ready to fire, and only before we're ready to fire, so or ready to load it. Because it might make a mess if you wait too long, but you could get some into this square right here where the air would come out. You could just put some oil down there so it can put some oil throughout the gun, just like how it would when we put it into the fill valve. If you want, you can also put just a little bit on where the hammer would meet, or just right there. So now your mag is very well lubricated, just like your gun. So now even green gas or propane, your gun should be operating very well. And just to do it again here, there's a little bit of gas in here, and then we could press this button right here. So now the whole mag and all the gas inside and everything like that will be well lubricated, ready for shooting with this gun. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and load the gun up now. I don't have a speed loader, or haven't tried to use a speed loader, but we're going to go ahead and just load it by hand. We're going to shoot today with 0.28 gram Elite Force BBs. Like I said, it holds about 30 to 35. We're just going to try to get it quite a bit here. And so yeah, basically there's no locking mechanism on anything here. You just have to kind of hold it down, kind of like old-fashioned mag. But it is double stacked, so you gotta make sure that you don't have any gaps. So we're just gonna go ahead and start loading here. Alright, so it didn't take too long. If you are gonna load these by hand, I recommend you get a spare mag. I'm not too sure what they run for, but anyway, we got them all loaded up here. And if you shoot, obviously it's only a semi-automatic gun, but if you are very conservative with ammo, 30 some rounds goes a pretty long way. So I forgot to mention, Airsoft GI, I think that it would be funny if they sent me this gun without a fill valve O-ring. So whenever I try to fill gas, it kind of spews out the sides. Gas still gets in there. So we're going to see if we could finish off a mag, even though that they didn't send me a O-ring. I'm going to have to contact them about that. But even without the O-ring, I was able to get gas there. It's just unfortunate that I waste a bunch of gas when I'm trying to fill it. But even with the fill valve O-ring missing, I was able to get almost 2 mags full and holding 30 plus rounds. That's pretty good. So we're just going to go ahead and see what we could do today. Alright guys, so that concludes the basic overall review, shooting, maintenance, breakdown, assembly, disassembly video on this gun. It's a crazy good gun for a very affordable price on Airsoft GI for $115. For my subscribers out there, you probably know that I got this on the Airsoft GI Pistolas Mystery Box unboxing video I did. So I paid about $100 for it, but if you wanted to pick it up right now, you could pay about $115. Killer gun. I think it's quite the bargain, honestly. So great gun, great price. Thank you for watching my video. So please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and have a good day.